Hey guys, welcome back to Never Tasted Better. Fall time is almost here, and I wanted to kick off the start of our apple season with making for you guys, just for you, a delicious apple spice cake loaded with tons of fresh apples, and on top is a browned buttercream frosting. This cake was jam-packed full of apples, which made the cake so moist. It had all the right spices, and the frosting went so well with it. Let's start off by taking a 13 by 9 inch pan, and we're going to grease it really well with some butter. Get all the corners and crevices. Onto our apples. I have 4 large honeycrisp apples. You can use Macintosh, Granny Smith, whatever you prefer. We're going to start peeling. This is taking too long. There we go. Let's measure 4 cups of apples. If you have leftovers, you can give them to your kids. For our dry ingredients, we're going to sift 2½ cups flour into a medium-sized bowl. Our spices are 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon ginger. We have 1 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt. Dump those in. And using a whisk, let's mix. For our wet ingredients, 3/4 cup light brown sugar, 1/2 cup white sugar, 1/2 cup unsalted butter. Make sure that you melted it and it's nice and cool to the touch. 1/4 cup canola oil, and we're going to mix it really well. It wants to be light and fluffy. We have 3 large eggs at room temperature. We're going to beat them in after each addition. 1 egg, mix, 2 eggs, mix, and 3 eggs. Mix. Add in 1/4 cup of buttermilk at room temperature, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to mix again. It's time to add in our apples. We're going to mix them really well into the batter. The smells are amazing, by the way. Go ahead and add your flour to your wet mixture. We're going to use a spatula to fold it very carefully, being careful not to overmix. It's going to be a thick batter, guys. It's okay. The apples are going to make it really moist. We are ready to pour our thick batter into our buttered dish. Be careful when you lift the bowl and do this. It's a really heavy batter, guys. Using a spatula, go ahead and smooth it out. Try to make it as even as possible on both sides. We are going to be baking this at 325 for about 45 to 55 minutes, depending on your oven. My oven cooks a little weird, so I know all the ins and outs, and it took the full 55 minutes to cook. Our apple cake is all done baking. It smells heavenly. We're going to test it with a toothpick to see if it comes out clean. And there's no batter on our toothpick. So we're going to let this cool off completely, and then we're going to start working on our browned butter frosting. Into a medium-sized saucepan, we're going to add 1/2 cup unsalted butter. We're going to let that melt completely over medium heat. It's going to start coming to a slow simmer. That's perfect. You want to stick around in the kitchen during this time. We're going to set a timer for about 4 to 5 minutes. You can see it starting to come to a nice simmer. We're going to whisk it on and off. And you can see the foam is starting to go away a little bit. That's what you want. Now the fats after 4 minutes have solidified and it turned a golden amber color. That's perfect. It smells really rich and nutty. We're going to go ahead and take it off the heat now. We're going to pour our hot browned butter into a glass dish that's heat proof, making sure to scrape all those little brown bits from the bottom. Those are the good stuff, guys. Don't forget your brown bits. We are going to let our butter cool off for 45 minutes to an hour until it's completely cool before we add it to our frosting. Let's add 1/2 cup unsalted butter to a large mixing bowl. We're going to cream it really well, making sure it's nice, silky, and smooth. We're going to sift in 3½ cups powdered sugar. You can add up to 4.5 cups sugar. I don't like my frosting overly sweet. Whatever you prefer. We're going to add in our cooled off brown butter. Look at how much the butter separated, guys. That's perfect. Making sure we don't forget those brown bits. That's going to add a beautiful depth of nutty flavor to your frosting, and it's going to give the frosting a really pretty look. And let's mix it really well until it starts to come together and is smooth. Add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of coarse kosher salt, and mix again. Our last step, we're going to add in a generous drizzle of whole milk. We want it to reach a creamy frosting consistency. So mix, and using a spatula, scrape down the sides, scrape up underneath. Mix one last time and you're all done. This is a close-up, guys. Can you see the brown bits of butter? Perfect. This is Henry's first time trying the frosting on the beaters. He didn't know what to make of it, but I think he liked it. Once your cake is cooled off completely, go ahead and slap that frosting on there and do your best to make it look pretty. It doesn't have to be fancy, it's an apple cake. And when I say apple cake, I think of a rustic, delicious cake. Doesn't have to look super fancy. I hope you guys get to try out this delicious apple cake. So worth it. If you guys like other cake recipes, you should go check out my cake playlist. I got a ton of delicious cakes on there just for you guys. Again, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye.